Hello, it's Eva from Social Beautify, and today I'm here with lovely Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I am the QVC presenter for Bioextracts.
And today we're going to film some Q&As for you, so I've got a whole lot of questions to Jen. So no pressure.
Bring it up.
Cool, so let's start. First question I would like to ask you, because obviously
Yes.
you work with Bioextract,
I
is
do.
I would like to know how the whole concept of the brand and how the brand was born.
Yeah, so Bioextracts really is the brainchild of Marina Nubo and her daughter Irina. Marina has already a really successful skincare brand, which you may or may not have heard of. It's called Nubo. But it's exclusive to Harrods. I think what they wanted to do was bring something to the market that was a much more affordable way for women to treat their skin. With botanicals, Bioextract combines biotechnology, so it's really high-end science with plants. We're a vegan brand, and they have travelled the world sourcing really innovative, rare ingredients from plants to enable women really to get the best for their skin. And what makes it so affordable is there are key moisturizers with the brand, but each come with a booster serum. This is a supercharged serum, so much more intense and stronger than a normal serum. But what that means is that you hand pick the serum for your skin. So I mean, I'm holding the Hydro Boost here, for example, for really dry skins. This is one of my favorites. And that makes it more affordable, because you don't need to have the entire range. You certainly don't need to have a £90 serum to just do one thing for your skin. You pick whether it be...
Which probably will answer my next question. And I was saying,
Yes.
why is each serum packed in
Yeah.
a syringe? What's the drill about that?
What's going on with this packaging? Well, this sparks so much conversation, yes, because it does look like a syringe, and though it may look really scary, this is really innovative packaging, because you don't have to put your finger in a pot. There's no mixing about. Each time you need a boost, it's pre-measured. You literally press the bottom, and it's a fresh dose with each pump. So that means the product's going to last longer. It's going to be as intense from the very first to the very last pump. You get 50 pumps per syringe. But really, it's just about that. It's about hygiene. It's about packaging. So they've got 2 lids. Always remember to replace this little rubber one. It's also lockable. So once you put your lids on, you can then lock that end.
So you could travel and not have
You
it
can
all
travel,
over your
or in my case, if
bag.
you have little ones at home that get hold of your products and want to just put them all over their hair, or whatever they want to do, it just stops that. So it's just an extra. I adore this packaging. I think it's really innovative, and it's part of what I really love about the brand. Apart from anything, they look fabulous in your bathroom on the shelf.
Okay, so I've got a question a little bit less just about the brand, but these are questions as well from readers and you guys. How can I beat hangover skin?
Ah, yes, that old chestnut. Okay, well, there's a few things with the hangovers.
We all do it, right, at times.
You have to make sure you drink lots of water throughout the night. A glass of water for every alcoholic drink. When you go to bed, try to take your makeup off.
I always do.
No matter how tipsy one might be. That's really,
I agree.
really
I think that's
crucial.
a big one, yeah.
Get your moisturiser on, go to sleep. In the morning, there are 2 key things you need, really. You need something with antioxidants in to fight all those free radicals that you have damaged your skin with the night before. In the Bioextract case, we have an antioxidant booster. That's a brilliant one to use in the morning. It's going to help to really replenish, give you back those antioxidants, and fight those free radicals.
I love skincare with antioxidants. I think as well, if I may add something, I think from a perspective of a younger person, as I went into my late 30s now, people always ask, what can you do? How can you keep your skin looking young? And that's like the key. I always loved products with antioxidants. I think the one thing to remember about them is that it's not like, some anti-wrinkle creams can give you quite like significant effect quickly because they smooth out the skin, whereas when you're younger the skin still is plumped, it's still smooth, so there's nothing really to fix. But what you can do is to protect and slow down that process of aging. So if you use something like this from when you're 20 or whatever, it's when you're 30 or when you're 35, that's when you're gonna go, it worked.
Yeah, of course. Start early and then reap the benefits.
I totally agree with that.
So then another great one is the Glow Boost, which is really, really good. That's going to promote microcirculation. So, because your skin's going to be dull, it's going to be dehydrated, it's going to be lackluster. So the Glow Boost will help with that, and it'll boost oxygen, boost blood flow, boost circulation to your skin. So you're just going to have that. It's just going to mask any of the dullness, give you that glow, and give your skin that radiant boost that you're going to need the morning after, for sure.
Nice. So the next question from one of the readers, and if you could help me with that, Jen, it would be lovely. So what would I do if I had a spot in one and the same place for a month and it just wouldn't go?
Yeah, it does happen, that, doesn't it? Where the spot keeps coming in the same place and you keep getting one spot in the same place. Well, the sebaceous glands are really what are behind spots, aren't they? And when they overproduce oil, often you can get the same gland producing that oil in the same place over and over again. So really you need to be exfoliating, I think, certainly for spot-prone skin, but not too harsh. You know, lots of exfoliants and peels can be too much, strip the skin, and then you're just going to create more spots. So you need something really gentle, but I think exfoliation is key. And then something in terms of our range, like the Clean to Clear Boost, which gives a really gentle exfoliation. It also helps with scarring, because the spot can build for quite a few weeks and then it can last for quite a few weeks. So, and definitely don't squeeze it. Don't create more bacteria and then it spreads, plus you'll damage your skin. I know it's tempting, but I think never do that. And that should really help with oily skins and spotty skins. That's a nice product.
Clean to Clear Boost, and I think it's fantastic. But it doesn't irritate, even though you can use it daily. So it's very very gentle. Yeah.
Which is what you need. It's tempting to go for those harsh products out there, but you end up going to do more damage. So.
Perfect, thank you. I shall follow your instructions. Okay, next question is, so could you tell me what age group is the bioextract products good for?
Well, really 18 to 80. I say that because obviously, you know, my mother uses these. She's got very mature skin, but she loves all of the products that are formulated for the more mature skins. My niece loves this. My niece has recently got married. I gave her loads of the boosters to use before her wedding day, and she's 22. So it really is a very comprehensive range. It will provide for all of those different age groups. You just really need to decide what your issue is, look in the mirror, and then choose your product based on your skin. But it really does, in terms of age groups, it covers all ages,
Perfect, thank you. Next one, do I need to use a separate eye cream, or will my facial moisturizer be good enough?
Yes. This is an interesting one. And yes, you do, sadly. Your facial moisturizer is not designed for your eyes. You really need to have a specific targeted eye cream, because the skin around your eye is different. It is completely different to the skin on your face. Thinner. It's much thinner. It has no oil glands, and it has lots of different issues that are separate. So you have to treat that very, very carefully and differently. You really need to invest when you're young in a good eye cream, because it will pay dividends much later on.
And I think as well, we forget around the eyes that our eyes are moving constantly, so all the muscles are making so much movement all the time.
Absolutely. Plus they're sensitive. You know, lots of face creams are wonderful for the skin on your face, but they're too rich, they're too strong, they'll make your eyes red, water, all sorts of things.
Scented sometimes more, or not tested.
Yeah, of course. The eye area, see it as a separate entity on its own. You treat it differently completely to the rest of your face,
I sometimes find when I talk as a blogger to people, it's just another thing to add. I was like, come on, it takes about 30 seconds
It does,
to put
yes.
an eye cream on.
And also, there's an interesting story. I remember reading a thing on Cindy Crawford, who has recently turned 50. And people say to her all the time, how do you look so good? And she said, I started looking after my skin, particularly her eyes, in her 30s. And it paid off.
Oh, there's a hope for me.
There you go. So when you're 50, we'll do this Q&A again.
All right. That's a deal. Cool. So the next question, which I'm actually quite excited about, what does it mean when we have dehydrated skin? And I know we slightly mentioned before with one of the questions about that. But.
Yes, because people confuse dehydrated skin with dry skin, and they're not the same. So dehydrated skin, it is a condition. And dehydrated skin really is when your skin loses its hydration, meaning water. You know?
So if it's a condition,
yes.
Does it mean that any skin type can be dehydrated?
Absolutely right. Yes. All skin types get dehydrated, sorry. Even oily skins get dehydrated. And actually one of the signs that you've got dehydrated skin, if it's oily, is it gets oilier. It is desperately trying to replace that oil and replenish that oil.
I think a good example, which I sometimes use in the past when I talk to people, is when you have quite oily skin and you feel like it's a little bit dry, you don't understand why, but it's producing a lot of oil. I always then suspect dehydration, and it's quite easy to notice, like if you work in the office or in a space where it's air conditioned, you'll find that your skin is more oily throughout the week. The moment it's the weekend, you're out and about, you're sitting in a nice garden like that.
Suddenly it's not as oily. Yes.
Then suddenly it's not as oily, and that just indicates that when you are in that office, it's losing even more moisture.
Oh yeah.
And hence why your skin is producing more oil to protect itself. So what you need to do is use, and I'm sure you will tell me what to use.
Yeah, well, in terms of ours, you want to go for this one. This is the Hydro Boost. So you need that hyaluronic acid that we've talked about before in our videos, because it's going to give you a prolonged sense of hydration right throughout the day, from the moment you put this on or throughout the night, whichever way round. But you want something that's going to work all day long, giving you that hydration and that water, that plumped look because of that water loss, you know, to give you that boost again, because it's dehydrated skin has a really
it becomes sensitive.
It does, but it has a very sort of distinct look. It's sallow and it's sort of And
do you know a little trick how to notice that you've got dehydration on the skin?
Is that the pinch test?
Or like you can just do it like this, sort of pull your skin up, and when you see tiny vertical lines, that's dehydration.
Yeah, do that test, because it really is.
So any skin, also dry, can be, and again, dry skin, if it's dehydrated, becomes more sensitive, because once you're losing moisture, like your skin cells are not hydrated enough, they won't function correctly.
Exactly right.
Hydration is the key.
Yes.
I've got another question. I'm going to test your knowledge here.
Yes.
How can I fix an uneven skin tone?
Uneven skin tone, that is quite a hard area, uneven skin tone, and actually that can happen. Certainly quite a few of my friends are going through this with menopause and hormonal changes. There's an obvious factor with uneven skin tone as well, which is the sun. That can exacerbate. It's basically where your areas of pigment
uneven distribution.
Exactly, are distributed in different areas of your skin, and so one side starts to look very uneven from the other. But yes, there are things you can do, and there are products, and I think certainly in terms of the bioextracts, we have a brand new booster here, and this is an even skin boost. So it's fortified with magnesium from rye, and this, you want to use this one twice a day and all over the full face. Because
by itself, or would you still mix it?
Oh, you'd still mix it, but either or.
So you can use it just as a serum?
You can use it completely, just as a serum all over the full face, but this one's really going to help with that uneven skin tone and give back that kind of uniformity that we want to get from our skin in a really easy, simple way. But anything certainly with magnesium or vitamin C, antioxidants is really where you want to go with uneven skin tone to help to even that out.
I mean, you mentioned as well the sun, obviously, and I will, from my experience and what I always say to all my readers as well, is if if you have pigmentation, or if you decide to buy products to fight pigmentation, for God's sake, don't go in the sun. How do I know if the product is right for me?
Well, the simple answer to that is really you have to try it. I mean, there's no absolute way of knowing, but generally you can make an educated guess by looking at the label, knowing your own skin type first off, knowing your own concern by looking in the mirror. But ultimately the best way is to try it. You try it, I mean, give something at least 4 to 6 weeks to really, you know, start to see the visible results. But I think as long as you are educated about your own skin and you know which bits are bugging you, then you're armed with the knowledge then. And so, you know.
So if you know that you've got dry skin type, you're not buying moisturizer that says for oily skin.
Absolutely right, yeah.
Perfect. And final, last question. And if you answer that, you've passed, Jen. What is the best way to handle sensitive skin?
Well, sensitive skin, a bit like the last answer, you really have to make sure you are going for products with that written on them, because usually products for sensitive skin are formulated very differently. They're formulated very specifically without harsh
fragrance. Often fragrance can
exactly.
be a big,
Often
big
fragrance free.
irritant,
Obviously no parabens, dermatologically tested. So really do your research, read those labels, make sure there are no nasties, and go for something that's formulated for that.
I don't know if you agree as well. I would probably add also just the very simple steps, not even going into skincare, just be gentle with it. Don't scrub it with anything harsh.
I think particularly when it comes to cleansing,
skin.
definitely that's where you can really go wrong for a sensitive skin. You need something incredibly gentle and definitely fragrance free for no irritation. And
perfect. It was a pleasure testing your knowledge today, Jen. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy our Q&A. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
Bye.
See you.